Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and as the sun shines, it rises above, it crests on the horizon. Hey, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I've only just realized that we are woefully unprepared for the arrival of our guests. Just throwing that out there. Remember, the whole plan was to have this over here as a thing where people could come and be like, oh, wow, look at the majesty of the mountain. What is this mess we have constructed? Look, it's hanging off over this cliff. It is horrible. I'm going to try to fix it a bit if I can. We don't even have a roof on it. I was trying to build the road back to town. We might have to abandon this one. But what I want to talk about right now, and I sort of teased this in the last one, but I want to talk about my experience thus far with COPPA and the effect it has had on my life, because my life has been a roller coaster. And before I even get started, I want to say just a huge, massive shout out and thank you to all of my supporters, all of my friends, basically on Patreon, who have been extremely supportive of me over the last few days as I've been freaking the freak out. And also a massive thank you to Jenna for putting up with me during this time, because I have been just in an absolute panic state. So my experience with COPPA starts, I think where most people's are, where you realize that, oh, YouTube just lost a whole bunch of money, and, well, I don't care, whatever. Like, YouTube broke the law, who cares? Doesn't really affect any of us, does it? And, kind of went about my life as anyone else would. And then, during a live stream, I got a comment, and I can't remember, it might have been Gilliam. It might have been Creep. I think it was Gilliam. I'm going to say it was Gilliam, I think. Ooh, I'm going to feel bad if I'm wrong, though. Who was trying to say, hey, have you seen this? And I kind of looked at it. And the article, the headline was, about changes coming for content creators who make kids content. And I was like, that's sure, yeah, it doesn't really affect me any, I don't make content for kids. Which is, I think, how a lot of YouTubers are still viewing this. A lot of sadly uninformed, about to be shocked YouTubers just looking at this like, but I don't make kids content, so it doesn't affect me. How I wish that was true. How I wish that was true for you, dear YouTube creators. Oh, how I wish. But after that, life goes on fine for a couple of days, and I start seeing more information about it. I start looking into it a bit more, and I begin to realize that, it doesn't just affect people who create content for kids. I think that's the big misconception, because the law, COPPA itself, is being changed on January 1st. It is being altered to include content that is kid attractive. And the FTC is a bunch of out-of-touch boomers who believe anything with video games must be made for kids, because why would grown-ups want to look at video game videos, or videos about cookies, or videos about cereal, or videos with the word cool in them? I'm not joking, I wish I was. That's on the guidelines. That's how you can tell whether or not something is maybe directed at kids, is if it has the word cool. So that's where we are. And after seeing that, I got a little nervous. I got a little nervous because I was like, well, how am I supposed to? But I remained calm. I didn't know how I was going to, mark my videos. I was just like, you know what? I don't make content for kids. I'm going to say I don't, because YouTube started forcing us to specify. And I was like, I don't make content for kids. We'll just see what happens. I'm not too worried about it. And, information kept coming out. And I kept seeing that, oh, okay, this is getting real serious. I know what I'll do. It's fine. You know what? I don't need ads. Because like so many other people, I believed that if you weren't running ads, it didn't affect you. Because why would it? This is all allegedly about the kids and protecting the children. And, all I got to do is make sure that data's not being collected. So I'll disable the ads and I'll have no problem. But then it's like, no, actually, everyone has to specify, and everyone can get in trouble if they specify incorrectly, because it's not just about ads, it's about any data collected at all. And at that point, I was like, no, you know what? I will mark everything for kids. I will mark everything for kids, and it'll be fine. And then I actually saw what happens when you mark your content as for kids. And that's what got me feeling a bit ill. So when you mark your content as not for kids, or for kids, I should say, you don't get targeted ads, which is fine. I make a bit of money on YouTube, but not enough to be super, not to sweat it out, And I have some fantastic patron supporters, so I was like, it's fine. Monetarily, we'll be okay. We'll get by. We'll do more live streams or whatever. It'll be okay. But then I started to see that, but comments will also be disabled. And I was like, oh, well, people can comment on Discord, I guess. It's not ideal, but I suppose that's what most gaming YouTubers are going to have to do. So, now folks will adapt. We'll all get used to it. And then I saw that, your videos won't be recommended anymore. Excuse me, yeah, your videos are taken out of the algorithm, folks. They're not going to be recommended anymore. The only way people are going to see your videos is if they go to your channel. I thought, well, that's probably the worst thing. And then here comes the fun one. If you're subscribed to me and I put out a video that's labeled for kids, you will not get a notification for it, even if you have the bell icon clicked. No notifications. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, Shrek. Shrek, this sucks. And then I started hearing people come out and say, and I've yet to see only one person has said this, but people started to say, you can also be fined if you mislabel your content as for kids when it isn't. And that's when again, I've only seen one person say that, and I haven't seen it substantiated anywhere else. But I haven't seen that in the law either. The law is specifically about data collection, and if you have your videos labeled for kids, seems unlikely that they can actually... it seems unlikely that anyone would take issue for you, because at that point you're not collecting data. But I'm like, I'm starting to panic now. I'm starting to have some issues. So I started to rush to download all of my YouTube videos, because I'd made the decision at that point. I was like, you know what? Part of me felt, and this is before I looked into the legality of what they were doing, but part of me felt like, this isn't going to last forever. Someone is going to take the FTC to court with this, if it actually passes. Links in the description are the same as last episode, so please definitely contact the FTC and please definitely sign the petition. But I was like, this won't stand. It'll be okay. But in the meantime, I'm going to label my videos for kids, and if YouTube takes issue with that, and if YouTube terminates my account, that is... I started YouTube in 2011. That is 3,000 videos that I always just sort of assumed would continue to exist on YouTube. Gone. Just absolutely gone. And so I started rushing to get them all downloaded, ordering hard drives, because, it's easy enough to say, hey, just back them up on something like... any of those online cloud services, but those, even the cheapest one I found, Backblaze actually was the cheapest one I found. Not a sponsor, obviously. It was still going to cost me something ridiculous, like $40 a month, and it was going to take, with my internet speed, several months to download it. So I was like, as great as that would be, no, not going to work. So I had to, get hard drives, download them locally, store them on multiple drives, because if a single drive fails and I lose all the videos, that's going to suck. So I wanted to have, copies of my videos at my house and at my parents'. So I'm like scrambling. And as I'm scrambling, this is where the emotions kick in, folks. This is where I start to realize how much of my life I have lived while creating content on YouTube. I found a video of me and my brother. And it is a video that I recorded for his birthday. It was like his birthday present, where I give a tour of his Minecraft world. And I got sad. I'm not going to lie, I got teared up, which isn't unusual. I tear up a lot at really dumb things. I'm not afraid to admit that. That's just a fact about me. But, I started going through and I found, videos of me on my 20th birthday. I'm about to turn, I think, 27. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember making this video, but here's this video of me about to turn 20 and full of so much hope and excitement for the future and my existence on this platform. And here's a video of me and Mike and some puppies that we had at the time. By the way, pets and sports, and they're all also considered kid attractive, so I guess I better label that video appropriately. And I start getting very sad, because I start to realize how much of my life I have spent on YouTube and how much of my life I associate with YouTube. I talked about this in a live stream a few days ago. Me and Jenna, we're best friends. We've been for a long time. Our friendship doesn't revolve around YouTube by any means, but so much of it has been on YouTube. All of the live streams, all of the the series we did in Sky Factory. And I got real emotional about that too. And my mom called because she wanted to know what was wrong with me when we went out to get lunch on Sunday. What was going on with all this YouTube stuff she heard the girls talking about, my nieces talking about, because they were, oddly enough, pretty informed on the matter. And I went to explain to her what was going on, and for the first time in a very long time, I actually, and I know this is going to sound real lame, but I started crying. Like, and I'm not talking about teary-eyed, because like I say, that happens all the time over nonsense. You know, an emotional moment can happen in a cartoon, and my eyes will start getting a little watery. But I just started crying because I was like, it felt like everything I had worked toward, everything I'd invested so much time in, was crashing down around me, and I had to work fast to get it all downloaded before it was all gone. And here's the thing: even if I got the videos downloaded, there's comments that are going to be gone if all of my videos got taken down, or I had to take them down because I don't know how to label them. According to the FTC's incredibly vague and broad terms of what constitutes as kids content, they should be for adults, but I think there's subject matter in my videos that are not appropriate for adults, and they're certainly not, made for kids. They're not made for kids. The FTC apparently thinks they are, but I don't think kids should be watching. I mean, I've got a Minecraft video where the title is Dancing Whore. So I'm like, if my videos have to come down for whatever reason, it's incredible. By the way, a lot of people have been deleting their YouTube videos. Just set them for kids. Just do that and don't worry about it, okay? Take a deep breath. It's fine. You know, I mean, this isn't legal advice. I don't know if you can be fined for going the wrong direction. I've not seen that in the law at all. Again, COPPA is all about data collection. And if you set it to 4 kids, data collection isn't happening. So I don't think COPPA can fine you yet. We'll see what the child advocacy groups have to say about that. But I've already forgotten what I was going to say. This is pretty cool. I like this. That's neat. I do wonder if I made a mistake making it that tall, though. Ooh, should that all be like one layer? What if we went through and we did this? It might help. I've already forgotten where I was going with that. I'm not sick anymore, but my brain is still not all together. I think it's not all together well. Yeah, if it's all gone, like part of the fun of going back to old YouTube videos for me, and it's not just sort of the nostalgia of looking back at where I was at different times in my life and sort of my appearance, my attitude, my thought processes. It's going back and reading the old comments, you know, and seeing people whose names I haven't seen in a few years. Or, you know, seeing a name like Lucky Lou Dog and being like, oh my gosh, he's been here forever. You know, it's like that. That's part of the fun for me, is going back and seeing things like that. And seeing, oh my gosh, this video's taken off for some reason because it's, as of right now, still in the algorithm, still being suggested. It's crazy. Having the content is something that's important to me. Making sure those videos are backed up and I have access to them in multiple places, and I'll continue to repeat the backups and refresh the backups throughout the years, because I don't know if my kids will ever care, but if I ever had the opportunity to go back and watch videos that my grandparents had made or my parents had made back when they were, you know, in their 20s, I'd love to do that. So for that reason, making sure that content stays around, that's important to me. But it's sad to think that it won't be on YouTube, because that's where that's what the content was created for. You know, that's where my time investment was. And it's just a sad situation, is what it is. It's a very sad situation. And so I got very sad. I got very sad. I don't want to say depressed, but I was in a very bleak mood for several days. And, you know, I've come back on the other side. I've kind of come to terms with it mentally, but I still get teared up when I see certain videos come up as I'm going through and trying to make sure I got everything downloaded. And it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I hate it. But recently, I've stopped feeling sad, and I've started feeling angry at the fact that we are all being punished for Google's mistake with silly regulations that will in no way protect kids' privacy, because now they just won't be able to find videos that are appropriate for them. And now they'll just create an account and lie about their age, and now people who like video games and pop culture and the Spider-Man, I mean, how are they going to find content that they like? You know, Arlo made an interesting video. Arlo's literally a legally distinct Muppet. How, you know? Like, that's 100% something an uninformed boomer in the FTC is going to be like, well, that's kid appealing. No, it's not made for kids. I'm looking at the subject matter. Definitely not made for kids, but he's a big blue puppet talking about Nintendo, so he's definitely kid appealing, which is the part of COPPA that we need to fight and stop. And that's where I'm at now. Excuse my language. I am pissed off that creators are not taking this seriously and they're spreading misinformation about it. I'm pissed off that people aren't getting up in arms and fighting back against this. And I've started to see it a bit more, but I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm in a fighting mood. And that is why, God bless you if you follow me, on social media, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm lighting up about it at all times. I'm letting everyone know exactly what's going on. I'm encouraging people to sign the petition, to, most importantly, contact the FTC. And please, educate yourself on videos made by actual... even Jimquisition, a channel that I don't really watch, but, kind of respect what they have accomplished. They released a video about it in which they were like, is any of these things going to happen? Seems unlikely. No! 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 There are people who are trained in law who can tell you what the actual letter of the law is, and there are people representing the FTC telling you exactly what they're going to do. This isn't about what you think. It's about what we know. And what we know is that this isn't good, but we can fight it. Okay? So, first, same as last time, click on the link in the description. First link will take you to a webpage where you can comment to the FTC and let them know how heinous these proposed changes to COPPA are and how ridiculous it is that they want to hold content creators responsible for Google collecting data. Then, link 2, sign the petition. Then, link 3, do all of this in a new tab. Keep my video running. Link 3 and 4, educate yourself on the law. Link 3 is what the law actually is. And link 4 is why it might not make it in a court. But here's my thing on this. And I see a lot of people sort of taking solace in the fact that, someone will challenge this. Folks, that will be a federal court case. It's going to cost someone a lot of money. Probably money that I don't have and money that I'd wager you don't have either. So don't... And the outcome is uncertain. No matter how positive a particular individual is, we don't know how a judge is going to decide this. And it's going to take a long time to get it cleared up. So even if it does, go to court, and even if it does, side in our favor, we're talking it could be years, before that is all settled. And what are you going to be doing in the meantime? Let's stop it now. Let's stomp it out now. I literally have to stop this episode because I'm watching a countdown, not just for this episode, but I've got 58 seconds to go pull my food out of the oven before it burns. So thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I guess tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Bye.